really fake smile for Facebook real quick, and then I'll log right on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are all of you? Looks like I'm frozen on Instagram. So let me try the gram one more time. Let me try going live on the gram one more time, you guys. Hang on. Excuse the beeping. Let's see if we can still go live on the gram. The gram's not my friend now. Yay, we did it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are all of you? Let me grab a few things real quick. Don't you guys love how I come on here and just go about my business and conduct business on the phone? I think it's hilarious. Let me just make sure we're not all distorted on Facebook. That can sometimes happen. Okay. Looks good. Tell me where you're tuning in from. How are all of you? Whoops, let me mute my big mouth. Got a really good little show for you today. Sipping some evening primrose tea on day 3 of a water fast. And those of you who know me know I've done 31-day, water fasts up at True North Health Center. Look at these beautiful little flowers. These are from my garden. They're evening primrose. I allowed my garden to die out because it was getting towards, when it's going to freeze. So I just kind of let it go awry. But I still have these beautiful little evening primrose flowers, some dandelion green, some purslane, some basil, tons of basil. So I'm going to freeze that tonight. But I just wanted to come in and talk to you about a few things going on astrologically, and also what we can do to navigate better through these times by what we put in our mouth and what we actually abstain from. I prefer to be unlit today for some reason. So yeah, so let's get started. I'm gonna light some incense real quick, just because I feel like the energy is calling for it. And we're going to light some Palo Santo. Now, if I seem a little bit lethargic, day 3 of a water fast is always the most difficult. It's always the day where you want to just kind of throw in the towel, so to speak. But, I'm really not feeling that. I'm doing this more for spiritual purposes than I am any kind of health purpose whatsoever. Send some of that good energy your way. So yeah, when I water fast and when I have my clients water fast, it's always to let go of something. The very first time I fasted was when I was in my late 20s, and my girlfriend 𝗪𝗏, who I'm still friends with on Facebook, she was turning me on to the Bible and God, and she had brought over my pink Bible and the story of Esther on DVD, and we were watching Esther do a fast on behalf of her then husband. And she said, at the time I had an eating disorder. I was late 20s. I was a model. You get the drift. And she said, Andrea, I think if you did this, it would help break your food addictions. And it did. A 24-hour water fast ended up being, I believe, 3 days, then 7 days, then 14 days, then 21 days. Now, you don't have to be as extreme as I do, but with the full moon we just had, there's a lot of energy that's needing to be released. Let's clear it real quick. Let's just kind of clear out energy. There's a lot of energy that needs to be released, and that energy has to do with our throat chakra and our crown chakra being closed off, with us not being able to do the things that we were put here to do, usually because of outside forces, whether it be our own negative mindset or other people trying to dictate what we can and cannot say, what we can and cannot do. So I'm here to tell you, what my mom always taught me, which you can do anything you want. You can be anyone you want to be. You don't have to listen to what anyone else says. But I also brought out a singing bowl for the crown chakra that I think will better help us at this time open that chakra, which will then lead into our throat chakra, expanding outward and being able to speak our mind more clearly. Because at the end of the day, if we're not doing what we love, if we're not speaking our mind, if we're not living in our truth, we're really not living in our purpose at all. As you guys come on here, tell me where you're tuning in from. Let's see here. Specifically on Facebook, tell me where you're tuning in from. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of do this one round, and I'm just going to ask you to kind of open your mind. And then the first thing that you feel you need to say or speak or get out, I want you to write it down. And this will be really helpful. So whether it's to a person, I usually don't have trouble with my throat chakra. I speak my mind a lot, probably too often. It can get me into trouble, but that's who I am, right? I'm a Leo in the MC, the highest point of my chart. So that's the type of person I am. But what I want you to do is I want you to utilize this to allow it to open the crown chakra, bleeding down into the throat chakra, allow it to open and expand the throat chakra. And then the first thing that comes to mind that you want to just say, you want to speak, that you feel, or that you want to say to someone else, I actually want you to write it down. You have the nice little background of my dog Maverick, my pain in the ass dog Maverick, chewing his bone. So, a lot of times when other people, which is what we just closed out with this full moon, when other people want to silence us, right? Whether it be online, whether it be people you've dealt with for years or whatever, it's because we're getting something out that they don't want out. We're speaking a truth that they don't want to be known. So what you need to do in those types of circumstances where you feel like you're not being heard, you feel like you're not being seen, you need to remember that even if one person gets your message, this is especially important for the online space, for the workspace. If even one person gets your message that's meant to get it, it's meant to be. Now let's talk about the letting go of the food and the packaged food, the processed food, the chemical-laden supplements people are taking, things of that nature. So you want to really go through your supplements at this time, and you want to make sure there's no red 40, no blue, no yellow this, no yellow that, no colors added to your supplements. You also want to go through your cabinets and just ditch the packaged food. Now there's some packaged foods that are okay. For example, if it's like 1 to 3 ingredients, say it's a tomato sauce and there's just tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, that's fine. Or for example, kelp noodles, 1 ingredient, that's fine. What's another example? Canned pumpkin, canned vegetables that are in BPA-free cans, that's fine. But we want to really eliminate at this time all the packaged processed foods. Why? Because those are the things that are clogging us up, shutting down our crown chakra, shutting down our heart chakra, shutting down our throat chakra, and making us feel like we can no longer do what we're put here to do, to be on our destined path, to speak the words we need to speak. So you want to be really mindful when you go to the grocery store, when you pull these foods, when you stock your pantry, to really get rid of the bullshit. It's vitally important at this time. Welcome on TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm surprised anyone's even on here. So welcome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to take a sip of this. So let's get into the fasting component with this. So you can see I'm on a 3-day water fast towards the end of day 3. There's absolutely zero desire for me to eat food. This isn't about a physical body thing and healing the physical body, although it will heal the physical body. Whenever we take the energy off of digestion, the body actually can heal. So it's a really beautiful thing. It kind of goes hand in hand. Mine is more just to kind of digest a situation, to heal a situation so I can place it where it needs to be and see what happens, let it go, bring it back, whatever, right? So mine is more spiritual. When I fast now, because I've been vegan for 24 years, my fasting becomes more spiritual instead of about the physical. However, there are a lot of side effects, physical side effects when we talk about fasting. One being the ease of digestion when you begin to eat again. Another being the general weight lifted off of the organs of the body. The liver doesn't have to process toxins as quickly, although it does work overtime while the body is fasting. Another being the skin healing. A lot of my clients, their eczema, psoriasis, their cystic acne heals after they fast. You can see I don't have foundation on my face at all. I just have a little bit of blush, and my skin is a byproduct of years and years and years of fasting. So fasting has a way of kind of getting us back to where we need to be. There's also a IGF-1. There's a component with fasting that's a big time anti-ager. So I'm in my late 40s, and fasting has its benefits. Obviously, I fasted for 25 years. So, we really want to consider all of this when we, hey, Antonio. Hey, everybody on Instagram. Go ahead and hit the like button and tell me where you're tuning in from. We really want to take all these components into play. Now, the energy we've been going through astrologically over the past couple weeks is we're moving into Sagittarius season. So that's a lot of fire. So we can feel the need to go, go, go. And what I want to remind you of is to slow down. So one of the reasons I'm drinking evening primrose is because it's really good for the nervous system. It's really good to calm the nerves. I went through a period of lack of sleep. That's over now. Thank God. I got 8.5 hours last night, 6 hours the night before, but my nervous system was on high alert, right? I wasn't trusting my intuition. My nervous system was just going and going constantly. So the evening primrose helps to calm the nerves of the body. It's also good for the heart. It's very good for an underactive, overactive heart. So another good thing about evening primrose, excellent for the hormones. It's a great calmant, right? So it's not something you want to drink right before the gym. You more want to drink it like right before bed. But I love evening primrose. I will probably blend the flowers and drink them as well, which usually I don't intake anything on a water fast, but I feel as like a cleansing spiritual aspect. I think they're meant to be digested at this time. I'm going to take another swig. So someone asked on one of my platforms, how long will I be fasting for? I think I'm going to do 21 days. I'm not sure yet. What about your hair, your nails? The hair and the nails do not suffer during a fast. This is my hair. There's no hair extensions, no anything like that in there. Actually, it really, the more you cleanse the body, the more the hair grows, the more the cells of the body regenerate, the younger we become, the more youthful we become, the more we're able to tap into our intuition, the more we're able to really tap into the direction we're supposed to go. So like, I feel crystal clear today. I feel like I know what my heart is telling me. I know where I want to be. I know who I want to be with. I know, like, I just have kind of I would say an all-knowing peace about what is to come in the future. And that's a really great place to be. And I think that that comes when we fast. So fasting is not only a cellular cleansing of the body, it's a cleansing of the mind as well. It's a cleansing of the soul. It's great if you're angry about something and you need to let it go and you need to disperse that anger. Dropping the fork is the easiest way to find forgiveness within your heart space for any situation or person. So that's another reason, you know, whenever I'm going through something that, and I'm not going through a stressful time now, but whenever I'm going through anything that carries a lot of stress, I always drop the fork. I don't eat when I'm going through something stressful. I don't intake. The worst thing you can do is stuff down feelings and emotions. And specifically right now, as we move into Sagittarius season, you know, there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of wanting to go, go, go. There's a lot of wanting to do, do, do. Hey, Patty. Hey, Roberto, hit the like button. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Yeah, throw the likes up so this can get shared, and continue telling me where you're tuning in from. Yes, drop the fork, absolutely. So, you know, we need to drop the fork when we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed, when we're doing too much, when we've got so many things going on that, you know, we're having trouble focus. A lot of times when people are going through something like heartache or whatever, I'll tell them to nourish themselves more with herbs than food. Why? Because, you know, it can soothe the nervous system instead of, you know, stimulating with alcohol, you know, drugs, intimacy with random people. It's good to cleanse the body, right? So, you know, some of the times that I like my clients to fast is I do it seasonally. And this is the time of year as we go into the holidays that I like to be prepared for December and January with a very clean, lean body, and lean is clean. As much as, you know, they don't want to promote that nowadays, lean is clean. So, you know, what I like to say is when you feel led to fast is a good time to do it. So I usually will read the fasting prayer in the Bible in Matthew, and I believe it is, and when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly, they receive their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head with oil and wash your face, so that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who sees in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. That's the fasting prayer. And what that means is, and I know I'm telling all of you that I'm fasting now, but what that means is to not blab your big mouth when you're fasting, right? To not post it on social media. I'm sharing with you because you guys can benefit from it, but to not tell everyone you're fasting. So in the Oracle deck I'm coming out with, the Lessons of the Mystical Muse, we have a card that says taking a day of silence. And when I was in my 20s and 30s and I used to fast one day a week, I would literally wear a little sign around my neck that said taking a day of silence. So when I ran my errands, when I did everything I needed to do, people knew not to engage with me because I was fasting, I was cleansing, but I didn't want to come out and say that, right? So that's a good point. You know, I don't recommend all of you do a day of fasting a week. That actually can become very unhealthy and become a stronghold. Hang on, guys. But what I do recommend is that you tune into your body, that you tune into your heart space when you're feeling that you need a day of digestive repair, digestive rest, when you've overeaten, when you've overdrank. You know, fasting shouldn't be used to detox after you've retoxed, right? But it can be used to repair the body at a DNA level, at a cellular level, and at an energetic and vibrational level, because everything is frequency, right? Our mind creates our reality. This bowl vibration is frequency. It holds energy. If you don't think vibration holds energy, look at how the Egyptians built the pyramids off of vibration. So, you know, as we go along our journey, if you are going through a difficult time right now, say your money's messed up, right? I'm just throwing that out there. Fasting allows the portal doors to the mind, to the spirit, to the soul, to your ancestors to open, so you can ask for assistance, so you can ask for guidance. If you're going through any type of addiction right now, right, whether it be alcohol or, you know, anything like that, cigarettes, or just binge eating. You know, I used to be a binge eater. I've told you guys that a million times. Fasting can just stop that, because when you abstain from food, you want to abstain from other things. I have a client I'm working with right now that is going through a detox, just got out of a place in Malibu and has come to me for herbal help. And he's going through a detox after a long strain of drug use. And the first time he did a 7-day fast, he was able to completely let go of his addiction. So I'm not saying that'll be for everyone, but it's good to remember that these things that we're holding on to so tightly, whether it be people or alcohol or you know, intimacy with a bunch of people or whatever it is, or porn or whatever it is, we can let go through fasting. We do have the ability to break these addictive tendencies by dropping the fork and abstaining. Now, there's different types of fasting, and, you know, astrologically right now, water fasting was good for me. I have a lot of water in my chart. We're moving into fire. So, you know, water and fire don't mix. Fire puts out the water. So I decided to do a water fast, but you could juice fast. You could do liquids only, right? I have a lot of my clients that will juice until dinner, and then I give them blended soup recipes to do. So that's another way to cleanse the body on a cellular level. But what I want you guys to remember, and what I think is vitally important to us all, is do this when you feel led. Don't do it because, you know, Andrea Leacock stands up here and tells you to do it. Do this when you feel led spiritually, energetically, vibrationally, when you feel led to drop the fork, when you feel led to seek guidance, when you feel led to connect with your ancestors that have crossed over, when you feel led to connect with Jesus, when you feel led to heal yourself or heal a part of yourself, that is when you'll want to partake in this. So yeah, and of course, check with your doctor as always. So fasting, in fact, gives you energy. So even if you don't have energy, you'll get it after you fast. Absolutely. I can't see your name on TikTok. Absolutely. You look great. Thank you on TikTok. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm almost half a century old. A lot of people, I say half a century young, but thank you so much. And there's no filter on these, you guys. You can't put a filter on a live video. So this is what you get. So yeah, so I hope this helps you guys. And please let me know if it does, and let me know in the comments section. And I invite all of you to go subscribe to both of my YouTube channels. Andrea Cox TV has over 1,500 videos on health, wellness, cellular detoxification, fasting, living foods recipes. Go back and look at some of the older videos. And then the Detox Intuitive is my intuitive guidance channel. I am literally a channel for people. I am deep into the Akashic records. I have almost all water placements in my chart, which is very strong intuition. In fact, when I don't listen to my intuition, I'm learning it robs me of my sleep. So yeah, and you can also join over 40,000 people who have subscribed to my newsletter at AndreaCox.com. You know, you guys, I just love each and every one of you. And I want to say, I have a lot of deep gratitude for all of you. You guys have been with me on platforms like Facebook, which it's Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox on Facebook. That's where I post the most, for 9 years. And during that time, you guys know, people hacked me. People tried to slow my growth successfully for a period of years. And now that I brought all that to a rapid close, I just want to thank you guys for everything and for being here. I'm very grateful. I have a lot of gratitude in my heart space for all of you, not just because I'm fasting and I feel great today, but I just do. I have a lot of gratitude. Some tips, someone asked about, someone said, why are women so beautiful on TikTok? Freaking thanks. I don't know, but I'm going to hang out on TikTok forever now. Women are just, you know, all women are beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Purple's my favorite color. I love anything purple or turquoise or pink or peach or white or black or gray. So yeah, so someone asked the benefits of evening primrose. Like I said before, the benefits of evening primrose mostly are for the nerves. For the nerves, I'm trying to calm my nervous system because I've had a little roller coaster with my nervous system. No one's fault but my own. But yeah, so it's a time for me to relax. It's a time for me to rest. It's a time for me to rest until after the holidays. And so evening primrose from my garden is being harvested into tinctures, which I'll probably put on the Detox Intuitive Etsy shop, our new Etsy shop. You can check out things like the clearing sprays, the Palo Santo, the copal, etc. My bracelets are on there. But I'm making it into tinctures to keep in my purse. And I'm also making it into teas. And you can see how pretty it is. Evening primrose comes in a purple or a yellow flower. It's an herb, a wild herb, excellent for the heart, excellent for the hormones, which isn't really touted about. You won't find that a lot on Google. And excellent for the nerves. So anyone that's had nerve damage or anything like that, evening primrose is great. And it also tastes good. You can sweeten it with monk fruit. I'm fasting, so I don't use like maple syrup or honey, but, and I'm a vegan, not a vegan. I do intake honey products, even though I'm a vegan. I'm using green leaf stevia to sweeten it that I grow in the garden. So yeah, it's just super zen. I can still work out while I'm fasting, which isn't really recommended because it's a time for the body to rest, but I'm going to do it anyway. I love each and every one of you. I'm so grateful for all of you. And if you're going through a healing process right now, let's do the crown chakra bowl one more time. Or you're letting something go, even if it's only temporary, or you're trying to even open your heart more, or you're trying to step into a space of being able to communicate more effectively and more clearly, or you're trying to let go of an addiction or anything like that, I highly recommend you work on opening and balancing the chakras, along with really letting go of anything processed in your life, any processed food, any outside stimulation that's just cluttering your peripheral vision or your life's path or your life's purpose, any people, places that aren't energetically aligned with you. I highly, highly recommend that you step back into yourself, You step back into that sacred space, which is you, and you call on your ancestors, you call on Jesus, and you call on your body. You demand your body to heal itself. You demand your heart space to become clear. You demand your mind to become settled and peaceful in whatever you're going through. And I think you'll have extreme success. I'm laughing because of the fire alarm that's beeping. I have a client that is on one of these platforms, and she will tell me about it. She tells me about it. She's like, that's still beeping. Someone was fixed it the other day, but maybe there's another one going off now. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys, there it goes. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. And again, subscribe on Andrea. Thank you. You look 25. Well, gosh, thanks on TikTok. I appreciate that. You know, it goes beyond looks, though. It's where my heart space is at. When your heart is clear, when you're not full of jealousy, envy, when you don't covet, hatred, resentment. I can get angry. I can get very angry. Don't get me wrong. I can go off like the rest of them. I did it the other night. But I don't hold on to things, right? You got to let stuff go, right? If things, people, situations aren't for you, you release and let go, you grow, you prosper, and you grow in different ways. And, oh, so sweet on Phantom. My goodness. Maybe you need a private reading. Such a beautiful message. And anger is actually very productive when it's dealt with and not ignored. Oh, I'm almost half a century old. Thank you very much. You guys are so nice on TikTok. I agree. I agree when we deal with anger head on, we can really go far with that. Hang on, you guys. I agree with that. And I think what also, you know, anger, they've associated anger with cancer in studies, people that hold on to anger, resentment, bitterness. So, you know, I think also with that, when we look at processing things, there is no better way. You know, Jesus had it right. Those people that wrote the Bible had it right. There is no better way to let go than to drop the fork, than to abstain. And so, and the more we do it, the more we can step into that power of who we really are. You know, you guys, like I said, I'm almost half a century young, and I have been fasting since I was 27 years old. And I've been vegan 25 years and raw vegan about 11 and a half of those years. I'm not raw vegan now, but you know, we really have to explore these holistic ways of living in order to get back to who we are and who we are meant to be, and what God has in store for us, and what our true life's purpose is. And for me, fasting always gets me there. And it's always like channeled, right? It's always like, I don't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to fast. Actually, I do. I wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to fast. And it's always either due to some type of pain I'm releasing, or a person, or a situation, or a feeling that I need to dissect just to figure things out. Or if I've got a lot of stress going on in my life, I just don't see a reason in stuffing that stress, that pain, anger, anxiety, whatever it is, down. And I truly believe not only the health components of being able to digest your food better and the mineral uptake we have after a fast is over, and the cleansing of the palate so we eat cleaner. But I truly believe that on a spiritual level, on a soul level, we can really tap into what our true desire is when we let go of all the stimulating substances and being on our phone and being on these apps. And there's so much out there for us to see. And I think it was Maya. You guys may want to go over to Andrea Cox TV and check out the podcast I did, the Hermetis podcast with Maya recently. She is a beautiful healer. I think she's in London. I'm not sure. And we were talking about how there's so much stimulation and it's only going to get worse in 2024. And that's where they want you. That's where the powers that be want you. And you guys know who they are. That's where they want us. They want us constantly on our phones. They want us having these, phones on our wrists and a phone in our pocket and a phone in our purse and, computers all around on our desk. They want us stuck in that matrix living. They don't want us to see the truth. All this AI stuff and everything coming out, they want us in that false light. They don't want us to see the truth. And the truth is, none of that is real. None of that is real. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Where can you donate? Venmo, the Detox Intuitive. Thank you on TikTok. So the truth is, they want us stuck. They want us eating these processed foods, right? We know how it works, right? We know who's in bed together, right? I don't have to say it. We know what happens when people get sick, right? I don't have to say it. So we need to step out of this matrix and into taking control of our health, fasting, eating a whole foods diet, vegan or not, meditating, getting centered, surrounding ourselves with people we can trust that are going to be there for us. I'm not going to change the subject because this was on fasting, but I do want to say, as you get older, you will gravitate towards people that will be there. You don't have to be married, but in sickness and health, you will gravitate towards the people that truly have your back, and you will begin to recognize them, right? You won't be fooled by people who show up with a mask pretending, but you'll begin to recognize your soul tribe. And so we're all just healing and growing along this journey. But in order to get back to center, I highly recommend, whip out your Bible, go to Matthew, read the fasting prayer that I recited earlier in this video, and tap in, tune out and tap in. A lot of you are like, you're going for likes and comments and stuff. You're not even making any money. Right? You guys are doing this just to it's very Jezebel spirit. And so when we step back from that energy and we look at all this puppet orchestration that's going on in the matrix, we can weed out the real from the fake. I'm reading your comments. Someone is, wow, you guys are really, really sticking up for me. Thank you. Thank you on TikTok. Wow, thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that. And thank you for all the beautiful comments on there. Negative comments don't get to me. They really don't. And it's just, they become fans. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. I'm very grateful for all of you. So just to recap this video, evening primrose in my clear mug that my friend Satinka sent me. These are from my garden. I am on a 3-day fast. I think I'm going to do 21 days of just water and teas. I am cleansing my bodily vessel to get more in touch with who I want to be in this upcoming year, vibrationally, at a soul level, at a spiritual level, at a heart level, to step away from the matrix more, to step back into myself more, to dedicate my life of service to all of you, to my clients, to all the animals of the world, and to my family that I love so much. And yeah, I just wanted to remind you that the quickest way to heal the body is to just drop the fork, just drop it and go within. And that is the way to heal any ailment. And you guys don't have to do 3 days. You don't have to do a day. You can fast until dinner. Baby steps, right? You can fast for a meal. No one ever kicked it from skipping a meal. In fact, they lived. Gil Jacobs, my teacher, the man who taught me, he used to say that all the time. I can't say the word on here. You can't say the word on Facebook, but no one ever croaked from skipping a meal. They lived, and that's a fact. So embrace this new year by cleansing the body on a cellular level. Myra Lee, my client who healed herself of cancer, I just have to say, she said, this is the reason to go within and share blessings. And she's a gardener. That's another thing. I'm an avid gardener, although my garden's gone right now because I knew the freeze was coming. But, she's a gardener. Spending time in nature is so important. I so want to go to this mountain that's up behind me, and I'm doing it this weekend. If it's the last thing I do, I'm shutting down my phones and going with my dog Maverick because I've wanted to go. So sorry, you guys. So sorry about that phone call. I've wanted to go for so long. So let me just... Sorry about that, you guys. And so getting out in nature is vitally important at this time as well, like Myra Lee has reminded me to do. And, growing a little bit of your own herbs like I do in your own food. And yeah, it's the way to thrive. So I'm Andrea Cox. Check me out on YouTube, Andrea Cox TV, and the Detox Intuitive for spirituality, Andrea Cox TV for holistic health. Go back to the beginning of this and watch it. There's a lot of valuable information in it. I know I kind of trailed it on out here, but I love each and every one of you. If you want to connect with me the most, connect with me on Facebook. It is Andrea Lee, Leigh Cox over there. And you guys love yourself this weekend. Love yourself. Do whatever you need to do to really tap into that unconditional love of oneself, especially if you're going through something heavy, especially if you're hurting, especially if you're going through pain, a loss of a loved one, a pet, of a home, of a breakup, anything like that. Nurture yourself, not by overindulging, but by underindulging, right? Fasting is, I think, the best indulgence we can do in life because it gives the body a break. It elevates the IGF-1 levels to, it's an anti-ager. It's good for the hair, skin, and nails, etc. So all of these things matter. And remember, you are loved where we are astrologically. And I said this in the beginning, so go back and watch that. Hang on. Where we are astrologically right now is a place where many of us have been silenced, whether it's the powers that be that wanted to silence us because we were spewing truth bombs. This is especially true if you have Cancer, Leo, or Pisces in your chart. You guys are really the ones trying to get the truth out there that have been silenced. I'm a Pisces. So you want to work on the chakras, the balancing of the chakras, the crown specifically, and the throat chakra to get your truth out. This is so important right now, you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Be well. Bye. Hey, you guys, watch this from the beginning on TikTok.